welcome to my plant nook. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Delia and this is Delia's Plant Nook. So a little bit about me first. I'm basically what you would call a beginner houseplant collector, grower, whatever you want to call it. I know there's a lot of channels on YouTube about it, and I've gotten, some ideas from people like that are on YouTube, and I decided, I love plants so much as well, and I'd like to be able to share some tips and tricks that I have either learned, found out myself, or just found from other YouTube planters. And yeah, so my collection's not huge. I have, I think, about 55 plants currently. I'm hoping to grow that eventually as well. But as of right now, most of my plants are beginner house plants. So plants that a lot of people have said that are simple to take care of and shouldn't be too finicky. And I might have one or two that are for supposedly more advanced. But today I'm actually going to be talking about the Philodendrons that I have, because it is one of my favorite houseplants so far, next to pothos and everything. So without further ado, here are some of my Philodendrons. Alright, so I have my whole collection currently right here of my Philodendrons, and I'm just going to kind of start off from, I guess, smallest to largest. So here we go. Here is the first Philodendron right here. And just got a new leaf. It's very beautiful. This is a Philodendron Red Emerald. Now, as you can see, I actually got this from a person on a plant site that I just found on Facebook. Sorry, not a plant site, found on Facebook. And they were selling a bunch of house plants. And yeah, so this was technically my very first Philodendron. And that new leaf is so much bigger than the other ones, which makes me super happy. I have it in a, I believe this is a west-facing window. As you can see, it's actually super bright, and the sun's not even near this window. So it's doing actually quite well, and not sure if you can see, but right there, we got a new leaf coming in. So super excited about that. Next plant is the Philodendron Birkin. Now, unfortunately, this one's a little sad. You can't really tell, but as right here, see how that's super floppy. Unfortunately, I did the sad thing, which is I overwatered, which unfortunately turned his leaves brown. But I had repotted it, I gave it better soil, and we got a couple new leaves coming in, which is great. They're not brown, which makes me super happy. So this is the Philodendron Birkin, and I just love how white these leaves come in. Absolutely beautiful. So next is the Philodendron Micans. Now this is a gorgeous plant. Can't quite see with the camera, but they are very velvety, and they kind of shimmer, I would say, in the light. They kind of change color, especially when their new leaves come in, which there's a bunch of new growth coming in there. One right there, one right here. There's pecan right there as well, which makes me super happy, because as a plant lover, I love when there's new leaves. So the next one is my pride and joy, which was it was on my wish list basically since the beginning, as soon as I saw what it looked like. And this is my Philodendron Pink Princess. And look at that leaf. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. It has the most pink variegation, which makes me super happy, because clearly where it's sitting is getting enough light, where it's getting it's getting enough light to keep the variegation. I wasn't too worried, because when I saw it in the store, I saw the growth and I saw how pink it was. So I was like, oh great, like fingers crossed that it was going to be that pink. And so far it is. And these two leaves are new. As you can tell, they're still very floppy, very soft compared to the very hard ones. And what's even great is I got 2 more leaves coming in. So I love this time of year because that means, you know, more leaves, more love, more plants. And here we have the Philodendron Silver Sword. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, I name my plants, so most of them have names, other than literally the first 4 that you just saw. No names at all. But this is my Philodendron Silver Sword, which is also named Excalibur. So yeah, this is Excalibur, my silver sword philodendron. And I actually got this at Canadian Tire, which was really surprising because I haven't seen them in like any other plant stores or anything like that. And finding it in Canadian Tire was just really, really surprising to me. And it was only 14 bucks, which, you know, you can't go wrong with that. So that was the Philodendron Silver Sword. This one I just recently got. Now, it was mislabeled as an Alocasia zebrina, which clearly it's not. This is in Philodendron narrow. And, you know, reminds me of, you know, saws. Just my child going nuts. And we got a new growth here, which is awesome. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I absolutely love how big these leaves already got. And I got this one at Independent Grocer in their garden center for $12, which, again, is an absolutely amazing price. That's for sure. And lastly is probably my biggest philodendron. This is my Philodendron Sellum. And I got this from a, actually just a local lady who sells plants as well. So she's really cool. I got this from her for 20 bucks. And I love how big the leaves are. And I really can't wait till this starts growing more. Which, just like all the others, without breaking anything, I got another growth point. Well, new leaf, sorry. So that's really exciting. I'm really hoping it comes out bigger, obviously, than these ones. This one's small, this one's bigger than this one, so I'm hoping this one's going to be bigger than this one. Either way, I'm just looking at it every day, seeing it inch and inch up more and more and more, which, as if you're a plant lover, is pretty much what we thrive on. Is the growth of plants. Well, the growth of leaves, and seeing leaves just pop out of nowhere, which is always exciting, and it always makes me really happy seeing that, because it means you're doing something right. And so, all of mine are repotted after I got them from the stores, or for like the other than my Philodendron Sellum is not repotted. It was repotted by the lady who had given it to me, so I'm leaving it in its pot for now. Until, I guess until I feel like it stopped growing, or I feel like it should be in a bigger pot. As of right now, I'm going to just leave it in where it is and see how much growth I can get out of it. She told me that the roots are in it fully now, which is why it's starting to grow, because it's already adjusted to the pot it's in. So I'm just going to leave it in there for now, kind of see what happens. I probably won't even repot it for quite some time, hopefully. So there's that. Now, what I use for potting soil for pretty much all my plants is I get the Pro Mix potting soil. You can get that at Canadian Tire, anywhere where you can get soil. I use that, and I use perlite, and recently, thanks to watching other plant videos and everything like that, I've started using worm castings as fertilizer, because I used a shakeable fertilizer before on these actual plants, all these plants that I have, and they don't dissolve fully, so I've had like fuzz and I guess mold growing into some of the stuff. Now, it hasn't hurt the plant from what I've seen, which is great, but I've wanted to change that. So I mix my Pro Mix with my Perlite so that it stays nice and airy. And I usually do half and half. That's just what I'm used to doing. And I don't know if I should. I probably should, but I haven't done it yet. Which is basically mixing the worm castings in with the soil and the perlite and everything like that. But so far what I do currently is I put a nice layer on top so that it seeps right down into it. And so far it seems to be doing great. My plants are doing okay. None are dying, which is an A+ all the time. And so far the only issues I've had is just overwatering. And so I'm trying to get better at that. I'm testing. I shove my finger right in the soil, and I actually, where is it? I actually have what I call my soil tester, which is just a wooden chopstick, where I just stick it into the soil. If it comes out and it's wet, I leave it. If it's fully dry, I'll give it a good water, and I also water all the way through. So as soon as they start dripping from the bottom, that's when I stop watering. And so far I've been doing that with most of my plants, other than a couple, like the Philodendrons, because there's no drainage holes in it, which is fine. I just tried and estimate how quickly the water's going through, because I felt the soil, and since it's so compacted with roots, it doesn't really need to worry that, like, it doesn't need to have to worry about it quite a bit. But I don't have to feel like I need to really put water in it. And since it's a plastic, it's going to hold the moisture a lot longer. So when I got the Philodendrons, which was probably over a month ago at this point, I honestly just recently actually watered it, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and gave it some worm castings. And that's when I found out it had a new leaf. So I'm hoping that's just because, on top of it being healthy, I'm doing a good job at housing it. So next, I'm just going to quickly show you where all my plants are currently and some of the plants that I have outside. So let's go take a look at that. So this is the window. As you can see, there's where all my other plants are. My burrow's tail and everything. So yeah, I have this ledge, and as you can see, I'm propagating some stuff. There's another Philodendron micans in there, and some pothos and stuff like that, which I'll talk about in the next video of pothos. String of hearts, my Hoyas, some more propagation. There's an air plant. So yeah, my silver sword's right here just because of size, and I want to make sure it gets pretty good light. My micans is right here, which it seems to be pretty happy. My Philodendron Pink Princess I put closest to the window, just because obviously I want it to get the most sunlight possible without any much damage. And here's the Philodendron. Not too close to the window, but it seems to be doing quite well. And here's where I put the, well, more or less actually, it's kind of like right here. That's just me, moving stuff around. But yeah, and now we're just going to quickly go outside, and I'll show you the plants I have out there. Alright, so we are outside, and here are some of the other plants that I got going on out here. I'm not going to talk about them today, just showing you guys what I got going. I love plants so much. They make me happy. And I got my hanging pothos. It's really bright, so I can't really show you too much of the detail. But yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a short video this time, but it's just more of a welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. And as usual, if you could like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll get notified for any more plant videos that I post. And if there's any plants that you have questions of, oh my goodness, great, first video and I talk like this. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, if there's a plant that you want me to try and grow, because where I live, that's literally the only window I have that is enough light. The other one is upstairs, and I currently can't use upstairs because we're renovating. So I can't do that right now. But anyways, I have outside, which gets the full sun around, it's 4:30 now, and the sun's just starting to come on, whoops, come on this side of the house. So, it gets probably, since sunset's about like 8:30, gets at least 4, maybe 5 hours of sunlight, which is actually pretty good. So they seem to be doing pretty happy. I've only just been worried because of the fact that since I live in Canada, it still got pretty chilly at night, to the point where it was above 12, which I don't like my plants being out at like 12 degrees. And it hit 13, and so far they actually seem to be okay. So far that means they're good. So hopefully they stay that way. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate that you guys came here to watch. And welcome to Delia's Plant Nook. I hope to see you guys again. And next episode, we're going to be talking about pothos. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!